Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I've decided to dig very deeply into my foil drawer and just pick out a random foil and decide to create a set using it. So I've picked out a foil, I've actually used it before in a video and it clearly seems to be one of my favorites since I picked it out again. But I just love the combination between whites and reds. It's like a floral foil design. So yes, that's basically the main showstopper for this set today, and it's a great example as well to basically show that if you don't have good, I don't know, nail art skills, for example, stamping and foils are the way to go, especially with foils. Of course, they can be limiting to a degree. You can only use obviously the designs you have at hand, but just like me today, I picked the foil, picked the colours to combine it, and I think it came out really nicely. So hopefully it'll give you guys some ideas on what you can do with your foils, and even if you don't have the foil I have today, maybe you have a different floral foil or maybe a butterfly one or something different, but just seeing the way I incorporated it into a set, maybe you guys will just spark some ideas for yourself as well. So just quickly, because I've already spoke way too long, I'm using 3 colors. So we'll be using some white, we've got this muted red color, and we also got a nude. The white and the red is from Cloud Beauty, and the nude is from Nail Co, I think. So we've got 3 nails that are going to be nude, we've got 1 nail that's going to be that red colour, and then one of those nails I'm going to apply some white. And so the white I'm applying on one of those nails, even though if you've probably seen the thumbnail, you probably can't actually tell that I've got a white nail in there, but I do, and it's just the background colour for the foil. So sometimes I like to do it just to kind of make the foil colour pop a bit more. You could probably use just any bright colour really, but preferably really, you'd probably want to use a colour that's the closest colour to the foil in case you have any gaps. But I feel so comfortable with foils now. I've kind of got my technique under control, so I'm not too worried if I've ever got any little gaps kind of seeping through. I normally can avoid them somehow. So yes, we're going to do 1 layer. I'm going to pop that one into the lamp, and then off camera I'm going to do a second layer, but only all of those nails excluding the white. I only did 1 layer for the white because that will be my background for the foil, and the foil is going to cover the whole white nail, so at least you shouldn't be able to see the colour. It's just kind of just that background to make the colour pop. I also have recently been wanting to use white as a background for ombre nails as well. I feel like that way I'm able to do less layers of ombre, because I use the sponge method, and the colours become so much more brighter. Especially I just filmed a neon set where I did an ombre, a 3-way ombre, and I just put a white background in there. If you watch that video, you see that I started off with no white background, and then I wiped it off and I applied a white background before I started the ombre, because the white just makes the colours pop so much quicker, and it will just mean you can use less layers to create the ombre, which is nice. So with the red nail, I decided to sugar it, of course, and then I am now going in with my Macart transfer foil gel on that white nail, and then we'll be able to pop the whole set into the lamp, and then we'll be able to tackle the foil nails essentially. But before we do that, we want to apply some foils on the 2 nude nails that we've got at the end of the whole set. So the left one and the right one, the 2 nude nails, I want to apply some foil. So I'm going in with a nail cleaner and a lint-free wipe, and I'm just wiping off that tacky layer, because when you go ahead and apply your foil gel glue, it just I just didn't want the foil to be sticking to the nail where I don't want it to be, so I wiped off the tacky layer, even though later you see what happened, but I got a nice little trick how to fix it. So since I wiped down the tacky layer, it kind of made the nail a bit matte, so it was quite easy to see where I'm applying the foil transfer gel. And I'm just using a nail art brush, and I'm just outlining a French tip, and I'm just going to colour it in. So this can be quite tricky. Even though you can kind of see, it's still not ideal, of course, if you've got, it's kind of a see-through gel, so not the most ideal, but we're going to make it work, because the French tip, one of them we're going to cover it up with some crystals, so don't worry if you're going to have it a wonky C-curve or whatever they're called. Don't worry about it, because we are going to cover it up. And on the other nail, we're not going to do crystals, but we're going to outline them with some white gel polish, and then we're going to sugar it as well. So don't worry if it's uneven, wonky, it's absolutely fine. So here I'm trying to show you guys, if you can see where I've put that the French tip. So we're going to do the same thing from both nails, and then once it goes into the lamp, we'll be able to then tackle the foils. So with the foils, I've noticed that trying to apply the foil straight after it coming out of the lamp is the biggest pain in my butt. So I recommend very, very much to put in the lamp. I like to put mine in for a minute. I think it should be a minute, but at least I do it for the Macart transfer foil gels for a minute, and then I leave it. And you kind of leave it for how long as you want. I just, as you can see, the white nail right now in the video in the background, that's already cured, ready to transfer the foils. And I just feel like, because when it comes out the lamp, it's still a hot nail, it just doesn't want to transfer very well. But once the nail cools down, it works amazing. So it's just so much quicker. The amount of times I've spent hours and hours trying to transfer foil, and all I had to do was just wait. Who would have thought? Just wait. Be patient, don't be too quick, just give it a minute. I don't know, tackle another nail whilst you're waiting, and you're going to have so much easier life trying to transfer the foils. So here we're going to transfer the foils now. I think I'm going to start off with the white nail. So I'm just picking a random area. I would advise that you chop up the bit you want. I was being a bit silly there and just decided to just go right in, and it was just annoying because it kept like catching at the back. It's a long foil, so I would advise to cut it. I think after this one I did decide to actually cut it because it was just so in my way. So in my way. And as you can see, I use my fingers. I know that not everyone recommends that because your hands create heat, which kind of can do that same effect as if you were to apply the foil straight from the lamp. The nail becomes hot, and I feel like the gel just starts to, I don't know, become less tacky, maybe a bit more movable, and then it doesn't want to transfer. So I know people don't like to recommend it, but I don't have any issues using my hand. If I let the gel kind of sit for a minute, it works so much better for me, and I prefer using my fingers because I feel like I'm able to really push it down compared to any other tools. So that's why I like to use my hand. Maybe because I also use a glove, maybe the heat doesn't transfer as much. I'm not sure how that kind of stuff works, but I like to use my hand. If you like to use anything else, absolutely go for it. So now it's time for those French tip nails. So this is where it's going to get a little bit more trickier, kind of, but not really. So I'm just going to transfer over the foil. We're just going to press it down, and with this foil, I'm just literally placing it wherever I feel like it's right. I'm not trying to pick any specific area or anything of that foil, just whatever bit. And then very gently, I'm just trying to peel it off. If at any point I see there's a little bit that didn't peel, I go back and then I really like scratch the area, make sure it transfers. And here, as you can see, a bit more transferred over the area that I actually wiped. So what I'm doing is just scraping over my nail, and it comes off so quickly. And then I decided to take my little gold tool, and I was just literally scrubbing it off. And you'll notice where you've placed your transfer foil gel, because that bit is quite hard to scratch off, and the bit where you don't, it literally comes off so easily. So that's really nice, not so tricky to tackle. We're gonna repeat the same process for this nail. This one I placed the foil completely wrong. The right hand side didn't get covered, which is annoying. I think I ended up going off camera to just fix that a little problem. And same thing, I had to scrape it off because I also had a little bit that just decided that it's just going to transfer a bit higher than I wanted it to. So we were just going to scratch it off, and then we've essentially now, all we have to do now is sugar that one nail, just outline the French tips, and then we've got some bling to do, and then our set will be finished. So here I completely messed up. Completely went off camera, and here are the nails so far. So now I'm going in with a top coat, and I'm going to top coat that full transfer foil nail and also the right French tip. You can pick any one you want, one of the French tips, whichever one you want to top coat. And I am top coating because I'll be using some unbelievable gels from Glitter Bells, and they essentially cure tack free, which is amazing. So you'd probably want to do that on a glossy nail, just because I will be sugaring, and then once it's sugared it'll be a bit of a pain to try and top coat, because of course you don't want to top coat the sugared nail and then somehow I get glitter in the top coat and then it's just going to be a big mess. So just to skip that hassle for me, I top coat it first. So here I'm just outlining with that white the French tip area. I do go off camera to perfect it better. I needed it right at my face to see what I'm doing. And now that it's done, I'm just going to sugar it. I'm just applying my beautiful sugar. I was going to say sugar. No, glitter. We're going to glitter that nail, and then going to pop it into the lamp. And I felt like it needed an extra little touch. So I did go ahead and grab my dotting tool, dipped into that white glitter bell polish, unbelievable gel. I'm not sure. I don't know, nail art gel? Not sure. But and I just decided to do dots and tried to do the biggest dot at the bottom, followed by even like smaller dots going upwards. Sorry about the focus. I am not sure what's going on. And that's kind of how I decided to leave it. I did add that one extra little dot that felt like it was missing. And there we go. So that's kind of how I'm leaving this nail. And I'm going to pop it into the lamp. So now it's time for our bling. So for the middle nail with that whole nude nail, I decided to, since it's a flower nail, I recently got some, I think they're resin, little chunks for resins or maybe even slimes, but I felt like they were going to be so perfect for nail art. So I decided to find a red one, placed it right in the middle, and I'm doing that swoosh effect. And here I'm just messing about with the crystals. I've just got a mixture of different sizes of AB crystals, and I'm just kind of gonna try putting a fair chunk of crystals from the middle, and then the further away I'm getting, the smaller and least crystals I'm using. So that's what we shall be doing. Here you notice that the flower was kind of sliding down because it's a heavy flower, but the moment we start placing crystals at the bottom, it will stop moving about and being annoying. And also the glue that I use, the rhinestone glue that I use is from Macart, and they also have like this stronger glue for like bigger chunks, so I could have used it there. I've got two of them now, I think, and I have not even opened one. I don't know, I just prefer to use this one. It's so much easier for me. So I'm just gonna place the crystals, and then the very last step will be to also apply crystals on the very last French tip nail, and we're once again just gonna outline the French tip with the crystals. I believe starting from bigger crystals from the middle, and the further up we get, the smaller crystals we're going to use. So you can use that technique. You can also just use all of the same crystal sizes. You can, I don't know, do it all with big or with small, whatever kind of idea you're going for. It also probably depends on how big your nail bed that you're working on, whether you're working on a client or if you're recreating this for a press-on nail set. Whatever you're doing, will probably all just depend on how big your nail bed is, how much space you've got to play around with. So here I decided that is actually a bit too bare, so I wanted to add a few little crystals in there just to chunk it up a little bit. And then we're just going to finish up the top bit, pop it into the lamp, and then we can work on the French tip nail. Okay, so I guess I'll just let you guys watch this, and then I'll come back to you guys when we're done with the crystals. Alright, so we're done with the crystals, and now it's the very last step, which is just top coating these bad boys. So I'm using my Vanillisa glossy top coat, and I'm just going to go around those crystals, making sure that I'm trying to avoid those crystals as much as possible. And then that's kind of going to be the end of the video. In a moment you're going to see the final results, even though it's kind of it. I feel like there's more of an impact when using matte top coats to see the results. But yeah, today is a glossy. I feel like I've been doing a fair bit of matte, so it's actually quite nice to see a glossy one, I think. I could be wrong. I do have a few pre-filmed videos, so I don't know when this one's coming out, so it will depend what order I put them out in when it comes to those top coats. But yep, so we're gonna quickly top coat, and in just a second you are gonna see the final results. So here they are. Let me know what you guys think. I think they came out so cute. I would literally rock these nails on my hand any day. If you end up recreating it, don't forget to tag me, and hopefully I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.